down, shut me out when I needed you. Oh, oh, I'm gonna burn this bridge. I ain't never coming back. No, I ain't never coming back. No, no, no. That girl you know is gone. You can see it in the past. Oh, I ain't never coming back. No, no, no. You lit this fire in me because you never believed that there was fire in me. Now you can't put it out. I'm gonna burn this bridge. I ain't never coming back. No, I ain't never coming back. No, no, no.
That's not like, people say, okay, wait for it, wait for it, wait for it. No, you can't wait for that to happen. What we need to do is to work hard to manage the marketing mix so that sales continue to grow, so that the number of units that we sell increases. He's in the biology class, that's why. He thought this was the biology lab, but it's not. Now, can we do this? Can we manage the product life cycle? This is extremely important, the product life cycle. Again, not because this is what is inevitable, it's because this is so profound that it gives us a foreshadowing of what can happen if we don't manage the marketing mix effectively. Product, price, place, promotion. Those are 4 controllable factors. We can't control if the country is in a recession. That's out of our control, for example. But the features and benefits of our product are within our control. That's something that we could change. We could continue to add more features and benefits to our product. Is that true? We could increase the capacity, the storage capacity on our product from 16 gigabytes to 32 gigabytes to 64 gigabytes to 128 gigabytes. Is that going to help us to sell more of our product? Is that going to help us to grow our business? Are our sales going to increase by modifying the product? So is modifying the product a good way to keep sales growing? So we could modify the product, add features. So that's one feature that a technology company like Apple, with their iPhone or their iPad, that they could change to get people to keep buying the product. That's one feature. What would be some other features of that product that they could change? So we said you could change the storage, the capacity of the storage. What else?
A longer battery life.
A longer battery life? So instead of a 2-hour battery, it could be 4 hours, it could be 5 hours, it could be 6 hours, it could be 8 hours. That's an important feature. That's something that is of interest to consumers, is the length of the battery life. How long is the battery life? So 10 hours is even better, 15 hours. So is that gonna, do you think that for a product that's durable, right, that's not a consumable product. An example of, right, so we have to make a distinction between 2 types of products, durable and consumable. So an iPhone is an example of a durable product. Right, Salma?
Yeah.
A consumable product, what's a great example of a consumable product? Who said that? Who said it? You? What is your name? Kenny. Kenny said orange juice. Can you believe he said that? What would give him that crazy idea. Yes, orange juice is a consumable product. Soda is a consumable product. Toothpaste is a consumable product. And shampoo. Those are all examples of consumable products. And lots more. But this product we're talking about is durable. So the battery life, they could extend the battery life. What else? Mohammed?
Changing design?
Change the design? So absolutely. Change the design. That's very common in the automotive industry, isn't it? So that's also a durable product. And how do they get to grow sales? One way is that they modify the product and they change the design. Some modifications to the design are minimal, and some of them are very substantial. They completely redesign the car. And it's a big investment. It's a big investment in the tooling to be able to make that change. And it's a big investment in design as well, in engineering. So as we've seen, it's not as easy as it looks to design and manufacture a car, right, Madeline? And that's why there's so many recalls, because they can't get it right the first time. So it's not so easy. So you can imagine there's a little bit of apprehension on the part of the car manufacturers when you talk about redesigning the car. So they do it anyway. The chassis, sometimes what they try to do is keep the same chassis, but modify the exterior cosmetic components. So we can modify the product. What else?
Add new features.
Right? Add new features like what? What kind of features would they add?
In a car? GPS.
GPS, right? So that's pretty much standard now, GPS. Do you guys agree that GPS, so before it was first introduced, so now this is an example of the adoption curve model, which is also very important, but it's also a bell curve. So the GPS was originally introduced into higher end model cars, so more expensive cars. Then what happens with the adoption curve model, so you have your innovators, your early adopters, your early majority, your late majority, and your non-adopters. So write this down. So the stages of the adoption curve model include innovators. So the first stage is innovators. The second stage is early majority. No, early adopters. That's the second stage. The third stage is the early majority, then the late majority, and then the non-adopters. And sometimes it's the term that's used for non-adopters is laggards. L-A-G-G-A-R-D-S, laggards. Which really, what does that mean? What is laggards? What that means is non-adopters. So, based on this model, it suggests that 2.5% of the market, so what we're looking at is we're trying to understand the rate of adoption. So we identified that in the product life cycle that there are several stages: introduction, growth, maturity, decline, obsolescence, and in some cases revitalization. So do you think the VCR is obsolete? What about cassette tapes? Are cassette tapes obsolete?
No.
So you say, well, do products ever become obsolete? Yes, products become obsolete. So cassette tapes. Or what about 8-track tapes? Do you even know what an 8-track tape is?
No.
No, you don't. I don't either, so. So, 8-track tapes, cassette tapes, those products are obsolete. Now, a product could be in maturity for a long time. So, for example, a car. Would you consider a car to be in the maturity stage? So, certainly the number of cars that are being sold are increasing, but overall, we could say that the category in the United States is mature. That doesn't mean they're not selling more cars, but they're not experiencing 20, 30, 40, 50% growth like they once had. Or what about the beverage industry? In the United States, the beverage industry is over $200 billion at retail. 60% of that is alcohol. I kid you not. And the rest is non-alcoholic beverages like water, orange juice, milk. So the beverage industry is only growing about 3% per year. That's an example of a mature category. So that's, in terms of market attractiveness, when we think about the level of rivalry, threat of substitutions, buyer power, supplier power. If a industry, if a category is mature, so the level of rivalry is very intense. Why is that? Because if you can't sell to more customers, right, if there aren't more customers coming into the market, then the way that you're going to increase your sales is by stealing your competitors' customers. So if sales aren't dramatically growing overall, if we don't see a significant increase in the number of people drinking Minute Maid orange juice, or actually orange juice overall, then how are we going to increase the sales of Minute Maid orange juice? Well, we've got to get people who drink Tropicana orange juice to drink Minute Maid. And those people who drink milk to drink orange juice. So they're very aware of the challenges of managing the product life cycle. They understand that they need to manage the product life cycle. And that's why you'll see that orange juice is marketed as having calcium. So on the packaging it says with calcium, and with vitamin A, and with vitamin D. Why would they mention that? Why is that important? Why all of a sudden is that so important to have that on the packaging? What's significant about that? Why not say vitamin E or vitamin Z or whatever? Why is it important? A and D and calcium?
Because they're trying to take the customers that like people consume milk because milk has calcium.